Hello and welcome to GameCube Classics. In this installment, the game is Sonic Mega Collection, released by Sega in 2002 for the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. The PS2 and Xbox versions are called Sonic Mega Collection Plus, as they include additional features the GameCube version does not. Even so, the GameCube version is still a great buy and is a really good collection of classic games. What you get here is essentially all of Sonic's 16-bit adventures. You get Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic 1 and Knuckles, Sonic and 2 and Knuckles, and Sonic and 3 and Knuckles that you have to unlock, as well as Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which in other words is Pyro Pyro. You get Flicky and I forget what the last one is. It's something else. Anyway, the important thing is you get basically all of the 16-bit Sonic games, save for Sonic CD, which is on another Sonic collection for GameCube. Now, if you have a GameCube or if you have a Wii, this is not a bad collection to pick up nowadays because you can pick this up for less than $10, and for considering all the Sonic games you're getting for that, you would not be able to get those on the Virtual Console for anywhere near that price, nor would you be able to get them on the original hardware. There's another thing that this game has that's really cool. It has, if you go back to the menu here, it goes to manuals, and you can go through and look at these basically PDF scans of the original manuals. Nothing that's too outlandishly, unexpected, but it is cool that they threw this in, to show you, how the controls would map onto a Sega Genesis controller. Yay. But yeah, in addition to that, there's also extras that they threw in here. That's what I really wanted to show you. In the extras include scans that you probably wouldn't expect. They are the Archie Comics Sonic the Hedgehog comics of the 90s. So if you were a kid in the 90s, chances are you probably read or at least knew somebody who read these comics. These were the early Sonic games, or early Sonic early Sonic comics. Yeah, that's what I'm searching for. I don't know why I couldn't say that. In addition to that, there's concept art, and you can watch in 480i at least, the Sonic CD introduction movie, which is really bizarre that they threw this in here, even though they didn't throw Sonic CD itself in here. Seeing this, for the first time was really mind-boggling because as a kid, I was used to watching this rendered in the 16-bit version of the Sega CD, what it could do. Alright, but let's get to the actual game, shall we? Enough with messing around with the menus. So, of course, this game includes the 16-bit Sonic game, so how is the emulation? That's probably what you came to watch, because that's the most important thing. Let's do Sonic 1, and here we go. So the controls, very simple, just exactly what you would expect. Pretty much every button is jump. You can press the B button, you can press the A button, you can press the X button. They act as the Genesis A, B, and C buttons, respectively. Sega Genesis audiophiles will probably note that the music and audio effects aren't exactly the same as the original Sega Genesis hardware, But overall, the emulation is definitely not too bad. And it's certainly better than the Sega Smashback for the Dreamcast. The Sonic the Hedgehog games can be found pretty much anywhere you look. There's so many collections besides Sonic Mega Collection here that include them. You know, you might be wondering, well, why pick this collection up as opposed to any of the other versions? Well, there really is no reason to pick this one up in particular. It's just that it's just not the bad port of the game, and if you have a GameCube and don't have something else, then why not pick this version up? Alright, let's go back. Whoops, I want to exit. That's what I want to do. Let's do Sonic 2. Sure. Not all of the Sonic games were complete gems. This does include Sonic Spinball, the Sonic Pinball game, which is generally considered to be one of the worst Sonic games of the classic era. It also includes Sonic 3D Blast, which again is not that great. However, it does include Sonic 1 to 3 and Sonic & Knuckles, which were easily some of the best games of the 16-bit era. Alright, let's exit and now move on to Sonic 3. The games here all run very well, and, you know, they don't have any slowdown or emulation issues that are really apparent anyway. Alright, Hydro City Zone. Whoops. I always forget, you gotta press start. Hilarious. Let's get the Breath of Air. As much sense as that makes. Alright, so these games work pretty well. So let's go to some of the bad Sonic games. The last minute that's left. Sonic 3D Blast. 1995 was a transitional year for gaming as a whole, and many people consider it to be the best year of gaming ever. This is the year that, you know, killed off the 32X. It brought about the PlayStation, Saturn, and, you know, gaming was transitioning from the 16-bit era to the polygonal 3D graphic era. For the Genesis, or this was actually 96, excuse me, this meant that we got this haphazard Sonic game. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next time. This game sucks.